Hi, my name is Slim Shady, Aleksey Igudesman, and I would like to put Miles Davis and white truffles in my immigrant jam.
Hi, my name is Julia Rhee, or E, you can say in Korean. And then what do I need to say again?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, that's it. The end.
No, you need to put something in your jam.
I don't get this part.
Hi, my name is Julia Rhee, and I would like to put a piano in my immigrant jam, for example.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, one more time. Action. Okay. Hi, my name is Julia Rhee, or E. I would like to put piano in my jam.
OM to the G. We are back with another beautiful episode of Immigrant Jam, the podcast. Today, it's a double trouble episode day. First time we're doing this. We have two amazing guests. First of all, I'm your host, Lucie Pohl. Hello. Welcome back if you're back. Welcome if this is your first one. Hello. Thank you for being here. I'm very excited about these two beautiful, nutritious, delicious guests today. Mr. Slim Shady, oh my goodness,
Kinda.
a.k.a. Aleksey Igudesman, and Julia Rhee. Aleksey Igudesman, musician, composer, writer, director, man extraordinaire, food lover, bedazzled genius. And Julia Rhee, vision in white, former musician, runner of a music tech company, self-proclaimed evil bitch. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes,
that's
I love
correct,
that. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here. Yay! We had a bit of a rough start. I was half an hour late, which broke my German punctual heart into tiny little pieces. And I'm going to tell you why I think I was this late.
Tell me.
Unlucky underwear.
It is so
Exactly.
funny that you say that. Because,
Really?
Yes, because we were having a huge discussion about underwear just like 2 nights ago at a party of Joshua Bell, and we were there and we were talking in
I
depth
was
Little
about.
name drop there.
Yeah, no. It is important. Actually, it's not important. It is a name drop.
Yeah.
But anyhow, listen. You know what I've discovered? That underwear matters. Underwear matters.
I knew this was the underwear thing. Listen, I have one pair of underwear that I have
I
designated
hope
my
you have more than one pair of underwear.
Which part? Is it the upper part
yeah.
or the...
No, the lower part. And I've designated it an unlucky pair of underwear. And I don't remember why. It's pink and it has ruffles on it.
Can we see?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that today's? Ooh.
Hold on.
Ooh.
Here.
Uh-huh.
This is the underwear.
Nice.
I think
For the listeners out there,
yeah.
it's nice.
It's,
No, it's not nice. I'm gonna
It's
burn
not
it.
nice, yeah.
I'm gonna burn it. And I don't remember what happened when I wore this underwear and I designated it unlucky, but I didn't throw it away, which is maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a Jewish thing that I would
maybe.
keep an unlucky
But her
underwear
parents-
around.
Yeah.
the underwear away.
But just burn the underwear like environmentally responsibly.
Oh yes, burn it. Yeah, you could make
you can
energy out of it. You could burn
Yes,
it.
but
Something
why
energy
haven't I burned
transfer.
it if I already decided it was unlucky? Today, I ran out of underwear.
And you took the unlucky one.
And I said to myself, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no such thing as unlucky underwear.
and
Unlucky
lo
underwear.
and behold.
And lo and behold.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
that's-
Next time you
that's
run
what
out, you
happens.
can also make anything out of foil.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Maybe that would be more lucky. Foil underwear.
Foil underwear?
You can shape it anyway. You know,
And it reflects
Yeah.
the sun, and you get
Oh,
energy
yeah,
from
yeah,
it. You could run
double
your
the-
car with your
That's
foil
right.
underwear. I tell you, that is the future.
Solar
Immigrants
energy.
solving the problems.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. What was the Joshua Bell underwear
So,
conversation?
we were there, and
And for those people that don't know, because some people don't know, Joshua Bell is only one of the most
yes, he's one of the
revered-
most. He was
What
one
does
of
he
the
do?
most revered.
violinists in the world.
Violinists
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Huge schlong. No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Does he?
I don't know. But
Maybe he'll come on and tell us.
He's a wonderful violinist. He's a very dear friend, and he had a party the other day, and so we were there talking about underwear because okay. Long
So this
story
is-
short, there was there was a lovely
Make it long.
yeah, there was a lovely lady there who said, "Oh, let's go to the jacuzzi at the front. I hope you have nice underwear on." To me, So I said,
Wow.
funny you say that because I have an underwear story. And here this is expanding. This is going to be an episode about underwear, as you can see. There's going to be absolutely nothing else talked about. So I am a traveler. I am a music traveler, so to speak. I also have a startup together with Julia called Music Traveler, but we'll get to that later. And I travel for music and with music all the time. So I get into London, and of course, they lose all of my luggage, including all of my underwear.
Right.
And this was last December, and I had some very important concerts to play. And you cannot play a concert without underwear.
Why? Why can't you play without underwear?
It's a rule. It's a rule of thumb.
Is it?
It's one of those things. It's one of the...
Amongst musicians?
Well, because otherwise if something slips out and then the notes get out of tune. I don't know. What
Next time, foil. Remember foil next time.
Not foil, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so I wanted to get
your penis in aluminum
That's
foil.
right.
Yeah.
Or
But
cling wrap.
I was a little annoyed, so I thought, screw it. For once, I'll get the best underwear in the world. So I went in there, and maybe I can get an endorsement. Tom Ford underwear, $200
A pair?
for one pair of underwear.
Well, hold on. It's
Does
a
it jerk you
bottom thing
off
or the
too?
men bra? Which one?
No. It's not. It's not
Or
men
the
bra.
set. Or the set.
No. It's just one single pair. And you know what? I just thought, how good is it going to be? It's good.
Why?
It's
Why
that
is it so good? Are you wearing some right now?
No, I have
let's
my
see your underwear.
actually no. I have my second best underwear, which is Zimmerli. It's a Swiss underwear, which is only about
Swiss underwear.
It's
it
only
has
about
like a little
$100.
knife on it and a corkscrew
You
and
can open
stuff.
bottles of wine with it.
Exactly.
No. It's beautiful and soft. The Swiss one, but it's not as. It's
Can we
sexy.
see it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not like super sexy.
Okay. But let's have a look.
But it's kind of simple.
Yes. Oh, wait.
It's simple.
Yeah, but let's
But
let's
it's
look at
nice.
the fabric.
Very soft.
material is
Very
very
soft.
nice.
I just touched
About
it. It's very
80%
soft.
of
It's beautiful.
cotton.
It's simple. Very simple.
Yeah, it is simple, but it feels amazing on
You?
The balls.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it more important what it feels like on the penis or the balls?
It is both, but I think that the penis is a little more obvious somehow because it protrudes, so to speak.
Well, for
and
some.
Anyhow, so this is beautiful. I always loved it. However, the Tom Ford was just next level because it's this smooth silkiness where you can see the shape but not too much, and then it falls. It's beautiful. It's
Perfect.
perfection. I thought, is it worth it to buy a $200 pair of underwear? And the answer is definitely yes.
Okay.
So
And so then you told this lady that you are wearing your Tom Ford underwear.
I told her this is my favorite pair of underwear, and the story is.
Did you fuck?
No.
What?
No.
What the fuck is that?
That
Oh,
is very
no,
too soon.
no.
They just met. Jacuzzi,
Give them like
perfect
an hour.
underwear, Joshua Bell's house.
No. It was just a friend.
I'm imagining you guys in the jacuzzi having sex while Joshua Bell is like serenading you in your underwear.
And me filming.
That did not come to fruition. No, no, I'm a gentleman. Anyhow, so and then we were talking about underwear, and we're talking about all sorts of underwear. So more and more people joined the underwear discussion.
Interesting.
I mean, I was mostly contributing, to be honest. It wasn't like everybody. I have so many stories of underwear, but so that's why it was serendipitous that you started with the underwear.
That is
problem.
serendipitous. I also think it's funny that a lot of people would think like these like musicians that play in Carnegie Hall and in the most famous symphony halls in the world, when they hang out, they talk about Bach and techniques, but no, they talk about underwear.
Mostly underwear.
So.
Well, actually, Sibelius, a famous composer, once said, if you want to talk about music, talk to bankers. Musicians only talk about money. It's not quite true, but sometimes...
Money and pubes.
yeah. But,
Otherwise.
but sometimes musicians, we don't only talk about music. I mean,
course not. Yeah.
we do talk about food a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially me.
And Julia, well, how do you feel about this whole underwear thing?
I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I think.
But do you choose, because you complimented me on matching my bra to my jeans. Do you care?
I mean, it's
about
not about the
undergarments?
underwear, it's about the fabrics, you know?
It is
Let's
about
go
the
into
fabric.
the molecule level here because it's like, okay, you can have this brand, but if it's itching your balls, it can be a good
You mean itching your balls?
Whatever. Would you like that? No. So it's really the.
It is
But it
How
does make you feel a
threads.
certain way when you're wearing certain underwear.
Absolutely.
I would have thought your
Yeah.
underwear would have been bedazzled.
No.
Yeah,
You have bedazzled underwear.
I do not. You know why?
Why?
Because it's not comfy. It's not. Also, it's not comfy. It's not
See,
nice to
the
touch.
molecule level
You-
is
exactly.
there.
You don't need to see that because that is. I don't know. It's just. It's not quite
Okay,
right.
last underwear question.
Yes.
Do you, because women do this, right? When they think like, oh, I'm going out and like I'm gonna find a hot man to take home. I'm putting on nice underwear. Do you
Yes.
do that too, or do you put on nice underwear when you think you're gonna get laid?
100%.
Okay,
100%. But I do put on nice underwear every day.
so you
Which
think
that-
you're gonna get laid every day?
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Good for you. Yeah.
I mean, a man can only hope.
Yeah.
But so it's like it reminds me of the story of this the professor who is like giving a huge speech about how human beings are more happy the more often they sleep with somebody, and he gives a demonstration and says, put up your hands if you sleep with someone once a day, and all these happy people put up their hands. Okay, put up their hands if you sleep with someone once a week, and all these semi-happy people put on, and then okay, let's go to the other spectrum. Put up your hands if you sleep with someone once a year. And suddenly, a little man, a voice like me, he's so happy. He says, oh my God, but my theory has just gone out the window. Why? You only once a year. Why are you so happy? Because today is the day. So you see, one can only hope.
I love that. Okay, this brings me to, I have to tell the people of the world listening a little bit more about you and what you guys do.
Yes.
You are an amazing musician, classically trained violinist, composer. You're like just a genius, right, on stage.
thank you.
But you've done something with Hyun Ki-ju, who I've also had on the podcast, which is combined classical music and comedy.
Yes.
And that's something that's not done that much, that frequently. You guys do it on, big stages and in big, serious, quote unquote, concert halls. And you kind of, make fun of, mock all of this like expectation of being serious and stuffy around classical music. And you work with amazing people. You have a show coming up with John Malkovich. You work with Billy Joel and all kinds of Joshua Bell, obviously. And then the two of you now have started an app for people traveling the world, musicians who it's kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like an Airbnb for rehearsal spaces and instruments.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one way I was driving. But it's not just for traveling people. It's actually if you need a place to rehearse or play or even record or video, you're always. I mean, us musicians, we're kind of always looking for those spaces. Sometimes it's just for a for a quickie, so to speak. I mean, not
We
sexually,
don't know
but
that yet, but we hope.
yeah. But playing, if you want to play something, just play drums or play the piano or the violin or whatever. But sometimes it would be, even at home, you don't always have the space. I mean, if you're traveling in New York, for example, just imagine and you feel inspired to write something or just to play the piano, and you're like completely uptown. Where do you go? You can get a pizza with an app, you can get anything with an app, but not yet an instrument or a place with an instrument or someone to play. And now with Music Traveler, you can. We're coming to the US very, very soon. We're basically in Europe, in Vienna, you can already do that, which is pretty cool.
But I guess that the reason for that has been that instruments are such, like, they're so personal, right?
It is,
and people have relationships with them, and
Partly,
they're
not
so
always.
precious to
Can be,
people.
but-
Sure.
Exactly. But the cool thing is with Music
Yeah.
Traveler, we have an insurance built in. So that means when you book a room, immediately it's insured for loads of money, so you can break it. You shouldn't break it. Please don't break it.
Yeah.
But
We
you're
only
fine.
cover $100,000.
Yeah, exactly. Only up to
Anything
100,000.
beyond that, yeah, it's on your
But
own.
you guys are both immigrants. Although Julia, the other day when I said, yeah, come on the podcast too. You're an immigrant. You were like, I'm not an immigrant. I'm an expat. So I want to hear about that. Aleksey, real quick, you were born in the former Soviet Union, aka Russia.
That is correct. Yes.
Yes, correct. And you moved to Germany as a kid.
Yeah.
Then to England as a kid to go to music boarding school, basically for. You how do you say it, for crazy misfits? No, what did you say?
Yeah, basically, I think that's what
lunatic.
Yeah.
For lunatic obsessed.
The Yehudi school for young weirdos, basically.
Right, exactly. And then to Vienna, and now obviously you're a citizen of the world. And Julia, you're originally from Korea. And then you guys met
in Vienna.
In Vienna.
When she was but a little lady and studying the piano back then. And then she basically said, screw this, you can't really make money with music, so I'm going to become a successful business lady. And she did. She created several companies and sold them. And then when I came with the idea for Music Traveler and came to her and said, listen, wouldn't this be amazing? And she said, this is so cool. This is the idea I've been waiting for.
Yeah, and also I had a different idea, very similar to that. But because I'm no longer a musician, I don't have an instrument. I thought, oh my God, in New York City, how are you going to not get kicked out from your condo association? I need a space. So it was, you know what? This needs to happen.
Yes.
Right? That was that, because of course, your neighbors can be a dick. Or not, or
so often. Or sometimes, you feel inspired and you want to find a place where you can play late in the evening or wherever.
Or angry and then go, kick drums.
You know what the funny thing is? I actually use it myself as well sometimes, because I'm looking
for... Do you really?
Well, sometimes I need to play, for example, with drums or with different instruments that I don't have, or I need to shoot a fabulous music video. And a Music Traveler...
As you do, of course.
Sometimes when
oh, shit, I need to shoot a fabulous music video.
Let's go.
I tell you something, as a musician, you literally have to do that these days. You can't just be like, oh, I just practice at home. Even classical musicians, everybody needs to do that. And that's why we've got locations and we can even provide videographers and shit like that. So it's pretty cool.
But do you think that only immigrants could have come up with ideas like this? I feel like immigrants always, it's always the immigrants that come up with these ideas.
Yeah.
Of how to adapt to a situation that's not working for you.
There is something in that.
And because that's kind of what you grow up doing. I mean, as a kid, I moved here as a kid, and I guess you were super young when you moved.
Yeah, I was also moving around so many different countries. I lived in France, England, Luxembourg, briefly in Italy, Austria quite a long time, US now. I did also live in the Caribbean for about 6 months. Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, nice.
Wasn't that nice? I was showering outside.
That's nice.
Great. That's so nice.
Outside, they didn't have water, so when there's a
showering
rain...
outside without water. Wow, that is really
this
exactly
is
that.
What are you doing? Just waiting for the rain.
Waiting for the rain to come.
I'm showering. Hello.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But tell me a little bit about what you said the other day, where you were like, I'm not an immigrant, I'm an expat. Because you're not a citizen? Or what? Why do you say that?
It's a simplistic differences in between those two. Immigrants are the ones that are permanent. So you moved away from your country, and then maybe you have got your passport elsewhere, and then you're really situated there. Expats are, I have a green card, but I haven't decided yet if this is going to be my home or not. So expats are more the person who's outside of their country, but it's not permanent. I still have my Korean passport.
So what is home for you? Do you have a home?
My definition of home is really where you pay taxes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so romantic.
I guess I don't have a home then.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Not even as a joke. No.
That was a joke.
That's disclaimer.
A total joke. Oh wow, I love that. That's hilarious, because most people say home is where the heart is. Home is a mindset. Home is where your family is. You're like, home is where
the money is.
Where you pay taxes.
Home is where the corporate tax rate is lowest.
Exactly.
So I tell you something about home and immigrants and all of this.
Okay, tell us. Wise, bedazzled man
Also
with the softest underwear.
We were semi-refugees, but anyhow, that's a different story. I really do deeply think that I know, and some people say, oh, but the home is so important. Oh, my nation, if we had less of that, and we know that as immigrants, if we had less of my home country, is so important, the world would be a better place. Full stop.
Agreed.
Full stop. There is no other way to put it. Because if we are less possessive about our home country is the most important, number one, because we live.
I love that you made a song out of it. No, our home country is the best. Conducting the whole orchestra.
Exactly. Trump. Pun intended. Basically, we have to realize we live in one world. We really do. Me traveling so much, and as you, we really understand that things are so interconnected. The economies are interconnected. People, humans are interconnected. So the better it is for people in another place, the better it is for you. It really works like that. So
and that migration is like the most natural thing that people do and have done always. And I think, we're like redefining, gender identities and stuff. And I keep saying this on this podcast, like we should also redefine like national identities. You should be able to be nation fluid. You know what I mean? Like
I'm definitely nation fluid.
I'm nation fluid. If I'm in Germany and I say I'm German, I feel like a fraud. If I say I'm American, I feel like a fraud.
Exactly.
But I also feel totally at home in Greece. You know what I mean?
I have a German, exactly. I'm the same. I have a German passport. I grew up most of my life in Austria. I'm an Anglophile. I love England. I went to school in England. So, but the hell am I? But born in the Soviet Union, back, Russia. But
Jewish.
Exactly, with a Jewish background. So it's so weird. And I really, really, truly don't feel any of them. And everybody says, but you must feel it. But you must feel it. No, I don't. What must? Why must?
Yeah.
And the more you can strip yourself of that kind of thing, the I don't know. You just get more open. I think.
Absolutely.
And have more life
and less afraid. Less afraid because all of that stuff is like based in fear, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's weird over there. Those people are weird. They're different than us. It's, okay, maybe the food tastes a little different, and there's.
But everywhere you go, it's the same shit.
Everybody's like, but you know. Who is different than us? Us. We are different than us. Your neighbor is different from you. I mean, literally, they come from another world. Even though they might be living with the fifth generation there, he'll be different than what you expect. And I tell you that this family in Pakistan may be much more similar to you than your bloody neighbor. So just chill the fuck out.
Or your bloody sister or brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, your family.
Absolutely. So it's about humanity. It's about interconnection. I know it's like sounds like a typical thing to say, but really traveling a lot, you really understand it. It's like that, and you build connections everywhere.
It's funny because when you're in America or Western countries, people are so guarded about the countries and all that, but they look exactly the same in a way, and that they're all mixed. But then, Aleksey, you travel quite a bit to Asia as well. I mean, when you go to Japan, Korea, you have no other people except for the tourists. You don't really have this concept of immigrant or people coming to live there. So you only see Koreans or Japanese, and you don't mix blood. And if you have a mixed blood and you look a little bit different, you will be really discriminated. So in a way, I think it's not a.
It's about how we look, I think, right? That's what Doria said.
It's not about the country, but I think if people wants to start discriminating others against whatever, they can choose maybe nose shape or
nose shape.
Or like
exactly.
How thick your eyebrows. I mean, you can go deeper level.
Instead of you're the wrong country, it's like ugly people should get
right.
out.
So you're saying there's always discrimination if it's not it's an easy thing to use the different nationality, but if you don't have that, you go somewhere else. You go, your ears are too big or too small, or your underwear is not soft enough.
Exactly.
You're wearing unlucky underwear.
Yeah, exactly. So I think humans are just like pathetic in that way. If it's not this way, that way, you have to just discriminate in whatever way possible. Find something.
This is an uplifting podcast, everybody. Humans are pathetic, and you should all kill yourself.
Well, at some point, we're dying anyway, so.
Well, except for me, but most people.
Well, I wanted to ask you though, because the other day we were walking down the street together, and we were talking about relationships and breakups and all that type of stuff, and you were like, I never get too hung up. You said something along those lines, because life is just too good. And so what is the secret to that? Like how do you live your life.
It's perception.
Under that pretext.
It's very, very easy because how good you feel or how well you are, it's simply perception. Because I mean, it's the typical thing: glass half full, half empty. But it really, really works that way. And I've discovered because my life has been as an immigrant really not very easy. There's so many crazy circumstances leaving the Soviet Union when we were there with just a couple of $100. I was 6. My mother was pregnant. My father was an alcoholic. I mean, it was really not a fun time. We had 2 grandmothers with us in our baggage. It was crazy.
Your grandmother was garbage.
There were 2 grandmothers. Yeah, we just packed them and just and it was crazy. And my father got run over by a car when I was 11 and died. Fun stuff like that. And you could, if you put that together, I should be a depressed human being. But all of that hardship has actually turned into the opposite. I've managed to turn it around. It is, I do have to admit, it's not something like, oh, I learned it from a book or something like this. I was meditating. No, it is within me. It is a natural thing. I did have difficult times in my life too, which I had to go through. But in the end, I realized it is entirely perception because, there's so many beautiful things out there in the world, so many beautiful people, so many beautiful things. If you decide, and it is a very constant decision that you say, wow, this is actually awesome. This is so delicious. I'm going to have this. I'm so happy to know this person, etc. You feel pretty damn good. On the other hand, if you decide, I don't have enough money. I want to buy this. And why is he earning more than me? And, oh, she's ugly. Then it's horrible. So for me, this life is too good. It's just very, very simple. Most people in the world are privileged. And the ones that are not tend to be happy anyway. This is the incredible thing. When I was I remember 25 years ago, I spent some time in India, in Varanasi, in the old Benares, basically, where there's such poverty. It's incredible. I have never seen so many smiling, happy faces. Everybody is laughing at this. The leper is there smiling, oh, give me some money, give me some money. He's even more happy. Little kids running around with no money and they're all giggling and holding my hand and everything. I mean, it's crazy. And you see all this, an abundance of happiness in utter poverty. And then you go back to our civilized world and you see all this wealth and people going, I don't have enough money. I want another burger. It's
okay,
no,
yeah,
and not always. I don't want to paint black and white.
Right,
of course,
right,
there's plenty of misery in poverty and there's plenty of happiness in wealth, but it is just entirely perception. So I just really realized that and internalized it.
But was that a moment where you realized that?
It is a moment that is lasting nearly 50 years.
Do you think music helped you with that? Because
For sure. I think the arts generally, actually not the arts, creativity. It doesn't matter. Fuck the arts. I mean, don't fuck the arts, but being a
if you can, why not?
being a creative
don't
human
be in a
being.
relationship with the arts, but fucking the arts.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good one.
Not talking about anyone specific.
Being creative is changes everything, and you can be creative literally as a dustbin man. You can be creative. For example, I am a dustbin man, but I'm going to work out how to do it even better, improve the route, etc., etc. Make a new
glove. Working for the Chinese factories doing it in 5 seconds instead of 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. You minimize the time. Suddenly you have more time. You work something out. Suddenly you help other people. There's so many ways of being creative, not just like playing an instrument. And I think the creativity, that's what makes us actually more happy as a human being. So I live by that credo. I'm the creationist and I'm a creativist, I think.
And you having given up music, do you, you're still creative in your life. You're still creating and doing and
I think I'm dead inside.
She is dead inside, but in a very, very lovely, fluffy way.
Yeah, sometimes I guess I leave some days just come up and, try to be happy, at least pretending to be, and then sort of goes back to that, I want a revenge. And I enjoy that feeling very much so. Like,
is that real though, or is that a persona?
I think I've watched Korean drama too much.
Yeah, I get addicted.
It's like, oh my God.
Is that cultural, do you think?
I think
this
so.
outlook?
The dramatic, the revenge, and, always being angry and sad, and, you're basically melancholic for fun. I think it may be one of those, although I didn't live in Korea long enough to really get that. But no, I think it's more or less like every day I try to just get by and do better. So I have no moment to feel happiness or like, no.
Well,
like,
happiness is...
Get your shit together is more like my motto.
Happiness is a momentary glimpse. This is nothing to achieve. You cannot achieve happiness. Happiness does not stay. Happiness is a snapshot.
Yeah, you can achieve it, like, through medication or something.
No, but you can say, oh, I'm happy. And that's it. That was that moment. But the next moment, maybe something happens. Oh, suddenly I'm unhappy. Oh, but then you go back to, no. You are strive to be always creative, and the happiness will follow. That's for sure. I think that those are my wise words. I like this.
Really? Should I be writing that down or?
I think everybody should be writing that.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Everyone should get a pen and a paper and write it down.
Funny you say that, but actually, we hope to publish it in US as well. Actually,
Your book.
In my book, we did write a book about creativity with Yankee Jew called Saving the World.
Save the World.
Save the
Rette
World.
die Welt.
Rette die Welt. Save the World.
Yeah. Foreword by the great Terry Gilliam.
Yes, in the form of a picture. But no, I mean, we are both very, very creative, and I think being creative is just the way forward.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just interesting because I think, being creative, you have to be willing to fail, and you have to overcome a lot of fear a lot of times to be creative. And I think a lot of people fear stops them.
Yeah, but
and so sometimes
for life, you have to overcome.
Of course, but I
non-stop.
wonder if, like, the experiences as a child, moving to another place, learning another language, like, and seeing your parents struggle, and not that people that don't move as a kid don't have struggles and stuff, but I always wonder if that experience really, just sets you up to have this inherent, like,
It's a great theory, and it's absolutely true. Being thrown into the deep end is very important.
Right.
As a young kid as well. It's the same thing. For example, if you keep your kids away from anything dirty, they will fall ill because
and have a peanut allergy and some shit like that.
Exactly.
Right?
But
I don't know.
Yeah,
so
kill
many
those
allergies.
fucking people with a peanut allergy.
No, it is that, for example, and when you have hardships, when you're moving around and you have you learn to deal with it, and therefore it's much better in life. So it's not about guarding yourself. Opposite, throw yourself into life, and this is what I always choose to do. And fear. There's another conversation during the underwear party we were having. This was about underwear and about fears, and we were trying to define what is
Fear of underwear.
Yeah, exactly. And I was asked, so what is your deepest or hidden fear or unfounded fear? And I literally could not think of anything. I could not.
Really?
Not really.
Well, what about like a dying slowly while you're cut like about 75 different places? And then
that
you
would
don't
not
have
be nice. But it's not I don't live in fear of.
Julia has thought about this.
But I don't live.
Accidentally fallen from a.
I don't.
Is that your biggest fear?
No, I mean I've got like many different fears, but one of.
But I don't live by that. I mean, everybody has a certain fear of dying or whatever. But I don't live by that fear. I mean, I do live fearlessly in that sense. Also, I'm not afraid of the dark. And if there is a fear,
now you're just bragging, Aleksey.
No. But if there is a fear, I just say, well, I don't really like it. Not going to do it. Very simple. It's not. But it's not like because I'm so scared or this or that. And I'm also very important. It's I really can recommend it to anyone. Just don't. I don't give a shit what society thinks of me, and I don't really care what other people say of me. And that is so huge.
But hold on a second. The thing about that, though, is that people always say that. Don't care. But, okay, how do you put that into action? How do you actually you walk out and you go, Today I'm not
care.
going to care what society thinks.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then
is
you
that
get
an
used to,
inherent
and then like
thing,
some
or-
institutional like locks you up, and then this person is crazy. That could happen too,
That's
right?
true. You can get
So,
to
How do you
yeah.
actually do that?
It is by,
or is
by-
it something you
it's-
have to have inherently?
No, it's a mix, but I think it's about focusing of what is good for you and what is good for the people who are the closest to you. For example, what is good for me is I realized exercise. I mean, it's good for most people. So I don't, because I travel around, I don't have so much time. So what do? In airports, I have my hand luggage and I start weight training with my hand luggage literally anywhere I am. And I don't care. I'm traveling. Sometimes I traveled a couple of months ago with John Malkovich again, and I was weightlifting my baggage in front of him. And it's like, oh, Aleksey, what are you doing? It's like, well, John, I do this because I don't care. And people look at me like I'm a weirdo. And most people would be, oh, I'm shy. The society would, they think of me. I don't care.
And now he's on TMZ. It's like John Malkovich and gay lover weight train at airport.
Hey, listen, I'm
luggage.
not gay anymore.
Anymore.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, because whatever is best for me is best. Of course, not being selfish and like making things uncomfortable for somebody else. But that's one of those things. I don't care about if I need to do something in public, like oh, I'm afraid of this. No, I'm of course it does help to be an exhibitionist. So
Let me see. Let's see your underwear again.
yeah.
Okay, but so where does that come from? That you have that. Why do you think you have that?
I think it is, like you said, it is partly because being thrown into the deep end, being thrown into all these new situations. I think it's partly also, part of my personality trait. Not everybody can be like that, but I think everybody can be more like that and less afraid of what other people think. It just makes you happier.
Is it also, though, that you have something that you're really good at, that you dedicated yourself to, and you don't have anything to prove? Like, I think it's really interesting with like people who study music, right? Because you have to be so disciplined to be good at it,
Yeah, people
to
say
become
that.
good at it.
I guess
Also,
so.
deeply insecure. You have no idea what these musicians, they go through so much of that.
There is
Insecurity.
There is also
I think
insecurity.
that's a general thing for
Right.
It is
artists,
human.
right?
Yes.
Or
And
for
humans,
most
humans,
humans.
yeah.
But I
Exactly.
feel like the discipline
Right.
that you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alexey does not want to
Discipline.
talk about this subject.
No, this is it's my ADHD. No,
Yeah.
you see.
That is an ADHD chicken.
Yeah.
Rubber chicken. Absolutely, that's what it's there for.
No, it is that you say discipline, but you know what? It is for me. It's not just
Or
discipline.
passion.
It is passion, but also I think you have to have to do as many things as sometimes we do as musicians, or especially I do. One has to have a certain amount of ADHD, but it's about using your talents in the best way possible. So before I said, oh, everybody should not care about what society thinks of them. Of course, everybody is different. But I think one thing where everybody is not different is that everybody has their own individual talent. Know thyself. Know what you're good at. Find it out and improve that. That will certainly make you happy and more confident.
Confident.
Confident. It's a new word. There's confident and there's
But
confident.
don't you think that being good, knowing that you're good at something and having overcome inner demons and having proved it to yourself makes you have more of a, well, I don't give a fuck what people think of me because I can whip out this violin
Of course it
and
does.
fuck you up with my violin.
But it doesn't
you
matter.
know?
You're still going to be criticized.
Of
And
course.
this is interesting because...
Now you're going to plug your show.
Exactly. I can plug the show. It's perfect.
It's called Music Critic.
The Music Critic, which is...
John Malkovich
Yes.
at the Beacon Theater.
At the Beacon
Yeah,
Theater.
in
yes.
October, coming soon.
In October.
October. Yeah, we're going to be actually all over the U.S. We have an 8-city tour.
Yeah. In
you
your
can-
underwear.
And
Yeah, of course.
I will
Of
definitely
course,
wear underwear
absolutely.
and more, not
Yeah.
just underwear.
Oh, then I'm not coming.
We'll see about that. So basically, it's this show. I want to say I wrote it, but I didn't, because every single word of that is written by different critics around the world. Basically, it's a show called The Music Critic, where I've gathered some of the most horrible reviews about some of the greatest artists, musicians in the world of all time.
Love it.
So that means Beethoven, that means Brahms, that means just amazing geniuses.
Bad Bunny.
You would think you can't criticize, all these amazing composers that everybody loves. And people can and people did.
Of course.
And that's why John and I, we think it's one of the most positive shows, funnily enough, even though we're like shitting on all these great musicians, is one of the positive shows for creative people and because it just shows, doesn't matter who you are going to be ripped apart. And very often for the very things that are great about you, it's what people hate.
Right.
I love it because it's so delicious to hear also the amazing music. So we're playing all these great works, and at the same time, John is like saying how horrible it is what we're playing.
That's awesome.
And he the critics, they pick out certain things, and one can see what they hate. And it can be very much as well just like, he has a point, except to him it's ugly. To me, it's beautiful. So that's why it's so important for us people to humans to realize that whatever skill you have, it will be criticized. And, it may be nice to someone and not so nice to somebody else. To quote Yankee Jew, who was on your podcast, not everybody likes chocolate. It's a very, very deep
I don't know what that
phrase.
means. Can you explain?
No, but I got a 1-star review once in Edinburgh for one of my shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she wrote, "I didn't laugh once," which I thought was hilarious. So I put it on my poster for the next year. I put all the 5-star reviews and then the 1-star, and it said I didn't laugh once. And one, Arthur Smith, who's a very famous old comedian in the UK, he saw the 1-star review, and he's like an institution in Edinburgh and in the UK, and he came and brought me a present, and he said getting a 1-star review is almost better or better than getting 5 stars. Congratulations, you've made it,
Well, the
if
thing
somebody hates your shit so
Then
much, then it's like they
It's
love
meaningful.
it. It's meaningful.
It's meaningful. Also, if you get 1 star, that means you are a star. I mean, that is
That's
literally
right.
what it means.
Also,
You can't be 5 stars. I'm not 5 stars.
But
You're
also,
a singularity.
it's so funny to say, okay, this is obviously a comedy show, and obviously people come and laugh, but there are people that can come and fucking hate like living hell out of this show and not laugh once and be angry, and that I guess that's what you want, and that's on them. Of
maybe
course,
they had a bit of a procedure, too much Botox, who knows, maybe fillers,
Too much
etc.
Botox.
or not enough.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on you. No refund whatsoever, anyway.
No, but
I
everybody can
think,
hate
but
it.
you're so right, because of course now I laugh about it, but of course, like at first it like destroyed me, and I was so upset, and all the bad reviews destroyed me, and they're the ones you remember the most. I don't remember any 5-star review quotes. I remember all the bad
Exactly,
quotes.
and this is so funny. So in the Music Critic, the show that we're bringing to New York, but in the Beacon Theatre with John Malkovich. Anyway, in that show, also, of course, we've included some bad critics about us, so about me. So for my bad reviews, I dug into the internet and had things like, ruined a perfectly beautiful song, it's things like that. And what the fuck, I mean, just like simple comments.
Are these people really doing this as a job, these critics?
Well, some are. There are still critics, but of course, the critic of today, it's the guy who's on the internet who needs to comment.
You mean
the trolls?
Well, troll or patrol, whatever. It's like people, people who patrol.
Oh, patrol.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like gas. Petrol.
No. And basically, there's everybody's a critic these days, and it's okay. It's fine. I mean, what I never understand is if you don't like something, why you think
why are you commenting?
It's so important to comment on it.
Oh, they need to let it out.
This
is the stress, out and
it's so hilarious.
Punching back
But of
your
course,
finger.
and the nice thing is, of course, we put them in the show and we name them by name as well. Give them the credit. They're like, these anonymous critics are now famous because they said how shit it is, and not saying like, oh, it's so bad. No, say, well, if you're gonna be calling us out for something, we will quote you and say, this is what they said.
There we go.
Judge, it's fine. I'm not saying like they're wrong. Not at all. In fact, we never want to say in the Music Critic, we never say the music critics are wrong. ever, 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 because it is an opinion and everybody has the right to say their opinion, but we have the right as well to put their opinion there.
To say you're an idiot.
No, I'm
Or an
not saying.
asshole.
I'm just saying that actually there's one response that I do to Mr. Malkovich. One of the responses from the show is like, I have your critic. I'm sitting in the smallest room of my house. I have your critic in front of me. Soon it will be behind me.
That's nice.
And
I like
actually,
that.
that's also a real response by a composer called Max Reger to a review that he
great.
got. So it's beautiful. So, and in the end of the show, and this is the most fun bit because, I love self-deprecating humor. So I found a horrific review about John Malkovich, about something that he did himself in Istanbul, in Turkey. It was so bad. It was like, it said, please, send him back to Chicago to learn at the Steppenwolf Theater once again. Don't let him pass the border of Turkey again. Send him home with it and audition him at the airport and send him home with a Turkish delight. And literally, it goes on and on.
Oh my
And
God.
I took that and I set it to music.
Wow.
And that's like the
cool.
big grand finale. You have Malkovich screaming what a horrible actor he is. So if you want to see that, come to the Beacon Theatre.
But it's true. It is an important message, right? It's like
Yes.
you're going to be criticized, and
At least give
that's
them a
good.
Turkish delight to go back. Yeah,
Exactly.
with.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing ever as well. This reviewer, actually, we played our show, The Music Critic, in Istanbul, and we invited him to the press conference.
Wow.
And he was so happy. He was like
course.
delighted, and we did an interview and everything. So it was a lot of fun. So I think the lesson really, I believe, is criticisms. Doesn't matter who it is. Take it with a pinch of salt. Have fun with it, and listen to it. It doesn't matter whether it comes from a good place or a bad place. There's always something in criticism. Sometimes some person says, "You know what? You're smelly." And it's like, "Oh, I'm smelly." Well,
Who says you're smelly?
Well,
well,
I do,
maybe
I do.
exactly.
Yeah.
but maybe you are.
Also,
Smell
yeah,
yourself.
Yeah,
Maybe that
you
was
have
the
to.
best gift. Somebody just, I should use a different deodorant. You don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't know.
Pick, doesn't matter how evil the criticism is. Listen to it as subjectively as possible. Take away with it what is maybe true, improve that, and laugh off the rest. And that's a winning formula, I tell you.
Also, if anyone is working for the Homeland Security or like border control, audition people.
Audition people?
Audition people at the airport.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? Audition people like
and
how?
see how.
If they're good human beings or what?
Yeah, or like maybe they're funny enough, or they're worth coming.
That's a good idea for the
You know,
immigrants. Instead of like,
yeah.
oh, did you have a criminal
Yeah,
record?
yeah. What can you show us?
What
What's
can you
your
show us?
talent?
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us a joke.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
audition.
Or just,
what
can you
can
a nice human being? Tell us how
or
do you
what can
treat
you cook? You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
You should show something.
Wow,
right?
that's fucked up. That's
is.
fucked up. So that's a meritocracy then.
More like a contribution to
Meritocracy?
the
No.
society.
You have to offer something. What about
Yeah.
just being?
Hey, listen, if somebody says, you know what, I'm just being. I just
That's
want to
If
be.
somebody would ask me to
Beautiful.
tell a
Yeah,
joke to
that-
get
I mean,
into
the
a
person's-
country, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, but then
that's nice aura that you're offering.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but if you are behaving like an asshole there,
Yeah.
you can't get
Not-
in the country.
yeah, exactly.
Much better than
But that's
passports
so
and this.
subjective. What do you mean behaving like an
Like,
asshole?
you know,
Well, have a jury.
What?
Have a jury of Trump supporters.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
to get into New York City, you must have
Yeah.
given a head to a rat before.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
and then you can come in.
I
then you're
think-
tough enough to make it here.
Exactly.
Or actually, just be very friendly with rats. I think that already would
Do you
count.
know that uptown rats and downtown rats are genetically distinct?
Absolutely.
Isn't it
Down
just-
rats. Da, 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 da. I love this song.
Okay, so I love like sayings, proverbs from different countries and different languages. Did you guys grow up with any? I
Yes.
found a Russian one that I think is hilarious, and I want you to explain this to me. Poor dancer is impeded by his own balls. Look,
I've
say
never
it in
heard this.
Russian.
Okay, my Russian is. I mean, my Russian is fine, but my Russian reading is horrible.
Okay.
Плохому танцору
You're
яйцам мешают. Oh yeah.
Poor dancer is impeded by his own balls?
Yeah.
What
It's
is that?
I have heard that. It's oh my god, I'm reminded by that. Yeah. Well, it makes sense. If you're not a good dancer, then your own balls get in the way.
Okay.
That's what it means. If
What?
you know.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Can you
You're a
graphically
dancer and
explain?
you're not very good, then like, oh shit, oh god, the balls are in the way, because
So it means like even your balls will get in the way.
Exactly.
Like
That's-
because you're not good at it. It's not
Yes.
your balls. It's
no,
you're not good at
it's
it.
not good at it, so even your balls are
I
in the
still
way.
don't get
So
it.
when
Anyway,
would you
yeah.
say that though?
Yeah.
Now?
What?
I mean,
Yeah.
no.
Where
No,
do
in
you
what
apply that?
situation? Yeah.
No, basically, you would say it in the situation. For example, somebody says, "Oh, I didn't play very well because it was hot and the keys were with." And says, "You know what? Poor dancer, even the balls get in the way." Meaning, like, it's not. You say, "Oh, all these circumstances." But
so
if
you're
you're a good musician or you're a good artist, you will be able to cope with those situations. You always have some excuse why something doesn't go well.
Or Russians have massive balls.
And we do.
Maybe, yeah.
And
Oh, do you
we
really? Oh.
do.
I learned something
Okay,
new
let's
today.
see the balls.
Yeah. Take it off.
Flippity flop.
Any
Yeah.
Korean sayings that you grew up with, or that
I don't really speak to my parents, so I don't know.
Kim, toki, toki, no, isn't it?
I don't know what that means.
canceled?
Yeah. Exactly.
Immediately
Yeah,
canceled.
it's something to do with the
Was that
rabbit,
real?
whatever.
Was that a real?
I think
I
it's
think
some.
some song.
I think it's some Korean song that I know.
Yeah,
Korean
but
ones.
what do Koreans say? They only say You know, they only make noises. They just agree or disagree.
You know what? Yesterday I just found an amazing. It's not really directly a saying, but it is kind of a saying. It's a word, and you know it, and it's genius.
Oh yeah.
German. Eierlegende Wollmilchsau.
Oh my God.
Have you heard
German
of
is
that?
insane. Eierlegende Vollmilchsau?
No, Wollmilchsau.
Vollmilch.
Wollmilch.
What's Vollmilch?
Wolle.
Wollmilch? But what's Wollmilch?
Woll-
Wolle means
Woll-
cotton and milch means milk.
Yeah. Milch.
Sau. So it's
And
an
Zau means sow, pig.
Yes, as an egg-laying wool milk sow.
What's a wool milk?
Wool.
Exactly.
So basically, when somebody wants something that's entirely impossible, oh, I would love to have somebody work for me who is an amazing at social media at the same time, they're great at finance at the same time, they can wash my laundry and
it's
so
a
you
pig, you
want an
milk on top of
egg-laying
the-
wool
exactly.
milk
Yeah,
sow.
sow.
You want an impossible thing.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Also
I think it's overdone.
Eierlegende Wollmilchsau.
Oh yeah, look it up. It's
That's going to be the name of this episode.
Eierlegende
Eierlegende Wollmilchsau.
egg-laying wool milk sow. Yeah.
Yeah.
German is so insane. What an
is.
insane language. You just put words together and make up a new word that only means one thing. Only that thing.
Yeah,
It doesn't
just
mean
to
anything else.
prove.
That's insane.
no
I
point,
love that.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay,
Yeah.
well, then we have come to the very witching time of night where we must play
Play.
dun, 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 the poll questionnaire.
Oh my god. Okay, go on.
Aleksey Igudesman
Yes,
Is this
yes.
like a
of
example?
Leningrad, a.k.a. Soviet Union, a.k.a. Germany, a.k.a. England, a.k.a. Vienna, a.k.a. the world. Julia Rhee, a.k.a. of
Who
Korea, of
Yeah.
Italy, of Spain,
You know
of
you're using
England.
AKA completely
I know.
wrong.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Are you ready
Yes.
to
Born.
play?
Born and bred ready.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you were president of the United States of America, what American food would you ban?
What is American food anyway? There's no such thing.
What American food would I ban?
Oh, peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly?
Disgusting.
Oh, you really are an evil bitch.
Yes, thank you.
You know what I
I
think I
never
would
understood what that is anyway. To be honest. Ugh.
for the good of
Mm-hmm.
all the children, morning cereals.
That too, yes.
Fruit
Oh,
Loops.
yeah.
Absolutely. One of the most
Get out of this
Cornflakes.
country.
unhealthiest
Go back
foods in
the
the
way
world.
you came from. Jiggy, how do you feel about that?
thank you. But also, cereals are not really American. Remember, it's muesli, where it's more the German or the Scandinavian.
But Fruit Loops
Fruit
and all of
Loops,
that, that's
sure.
so American.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
you're banning the only thing that gives people joy in this country.
Is that you
Fruit
know?
Loops? Fruit Loops are fun. They're colorful.
What?
Yes, and
What
they're
is
evil
that
and they
anyway?
kill you.
Yeah.
But listen,
Chemicals.
yeah, yes, chemicals. Basically, they think it's healthy. But the thing is, if you ban those things, your life will suddenly be happier with
Or
bliss
not.
and intermittent fasting.
And that's why we don't allow immigrants to become president.
Absolutely, I get it. I get it.
Okay, if you could add one amendment to the U.S. Constitution, what would you add?
Interesting. Interesting.
Thou shalt not eat Fruit Loops.
Oh, no.
Is it something that one has to do or has not to do?
Well, it's up
It
to
can be
you.
either.
Yeah.
I see. I think.
I think I'm going to make people drink from the age of 15.
Turn people into alcoholics?
Yes. Yes.
No, but I
Yeah.
think
I
you know
think
what
it's
you have a
insane.
So
have
the
a
right to drink
Right
at
to drink
15.
at age
you
of
know
15.
why it's actually a great idea because it's much more responsible at the younger age. In Europe, people drink from about that
That's
age,
right.
and then they don't go crazy drinking
yeah.
like
What? That's not
binge
true.
drinking.
Have you been to fucking Oktoberfest?
Of
Yes.
People are
course, but it's
passing out and
just-
throwing up
Yeah,
and
but
pissing
that's
everywhere.
Oktoberfest.
Yes, but it's a very designated time as a German
Yeah.
calendar.
But they do it
Exactly.
on the subways in Berlin. They're always drunk.
It's a bit.
Everybody's
Oh,
drunk.
come on. Berlin
Yeah,
is
but
the
it's
party city.
different.
Your dad
too.
was an alcoholic. He was European. My dad was an alcoholic. He was European.
But I think vast majority of the people were not going to alcohol poisoning.
Yes.
Or they will actually enjoy how to drink responsibly instead
Okay,
of
because they do
going
not do
nuts.
kegs upside down.
Exactly.
Kegs,
Exactly. I think. Well, okay, drink here. Earlier drinking age. Drink here. Early age. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I think I would amend probably something a little more deep with a little more depth. I think every person has the right to
Wear underwears.
to be creative in their life. I know it's a bit ethereal, but it's like something like the right to free speech, the right to creativity. I don't know, make of it what you will, but I think it could be a nice, poetic, meaningful
But
addition.
how do you throw people into jail if they don't abide by that?
What do you mean?
Like if they,
How do you-
how do you go against it? Like it's
What do
so
you mean?
subjective. It's
No,
like
it is
if
subjective.
you're
I don't
drinking
know.
age of 14, then okay, no, right?
Oh, you mean
right?
through-
But it has to be a some
if-
kind of policy decision
Well,
making.
you can not throw people, but if, for example, if in a you have to do exactly everything like written by a book. No. But the 11th Amendment by Aleksey Igudesman says you have the right to be creative. So in my homework, even though it was about the math test, I wrote about the people of Southeast Asia who,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. It says my creative right to
The
interpret
right
it
to
different.
loopholes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In my tax amendment, I had the creative right to. Okay.
Okay, I love it. If you would have to make up a sound to describe the United States of America, what would the sound be?
The sound.
The sonic brand of the country. Let's think about this.
Or like, or like a song, a little song.
Don't they already have a song?
I think they have a song.
Like a national anthem,
How about
whatever.
this? How about United States of America.
Okay, okay, that works. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
That's why he plays the violin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about you? Or a catchphrase. If you had to make up a catchphrase for the United States of America,
How
what
about a
would it be?
cat phrase?
A cat phrase?
Yes, a cat
Sure,
phrase,
A cat
yes.
phrase.
Meow. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Are you guys on acid? Okay. All right. Okay. If you could add one face to Mount Rushmore, whose face would you add?
Mine.
You know what?
Obvious.
A beautiful Asian lady who has a green card and not even a citizen, and as part of the immigrants and to Mount Rushmore, I would love that. I think Julia Rhee's face there would
Yep.
be perfect. It
Thank
would be
you.
very symbolic, very inclusive.
I love it.
And then I
Yeah.
can collect taxes from other people.
With your face.
Yeah. I will lend it
you have
to
to put
the.
you have to put money in the
tax-
mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just
Yeah.
a little bit open. Put your tax in here.
Oh my God. Okay, 2 more questions. If you had to cast a movie about the Statue of Liberty, who would you cast?
Movie about the Statue of Liberty. I think again Julia Rhee, perhaps. I think since she is already on the mountain, I mean, it would be the recognizable
No, I have
face.
to just get out on the weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, definitely. I'm not nobody obvious, but somebody definitely. I mean, somebody Asian, or something like that.
Love it. Okay, last question. If you could deport one American person, who would you deport?
You get the fuck out of here.
I just became American like a year ago.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I was going to say de Blasio, but he's no longer a mayor.
De Blasio? Wow, you really hate him.
I really didn't like him very much.
Wow, more than Adams?
Oh, actually, Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz is a good one. Yeah, Ted Cruz is a very
Ted
good one.
Bundy.
Who is that?
He's dead.
He's already out.
Let's stick him up. And out he goes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Really, this is the last question. You guys, I want you to give me a serious answer.
Okay.
Do either of you know how I can meet David Hasselhoff?
Look, no, it's
you could.
everybody is only a few steps away. Let me figure it out. I'm sure we can make it.
Who's what's his age? Which agency is he with? CAA?
No idea.
Let's find out which agency is.
Yeah.
David, look, just be a nice person.
Yeah,
I know you're
please.
busy and everything. Come on this podcast.
I don't think he's busy
It's,
anymore. Right? He's retired.
It's you're gonna have so much fun, and it'll be something for you to remember.
Yeah, and then they give you
or
free
forget.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you free stuff. You get free water. You get a free.
Unlucky underwear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we can burn it
fabulous.
together.
Yeah, exactly.
So please come, and we'll try to facilitate.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's why I brought you here. Tell the people listening where they can find you on Instagram, on YouTube, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Well, my
Music Traveler.
Absolutely. Well, you can find me on my homepage, igudesman.com. Very simple. Actually, also same thing for Instagram, Facebook, all the grams, Instagram,
Just
milligram,
Google.
kilogram. Also, I even do the tick and the talk. And also, obviously, YouTube. You can find a lot of the funny numbers that we do on YouTube. Also, obviously, themusiccritic.com. That's where you get tickets for that show. And of course, Music Traveler. So
.com, yeah.
please do support us. Join it.
Visa, Master, American Express.
No, but seriously, check out the website, and if you have a space, a venue which you want to make available for musicians and earn money with that, that's very cool. Please join us. Or if you're a musician looking for somewhere to practice, to play, to say hey, and a hey and a ho and a nani no, just look at musictraveler.com, and otherwise support this wonderful, super talented lady.
Yeah.
Yes. Please. If you listen to this podcast, give us a review, a rating. Check out the Patreon. Thank you to GOJT, Douchebag Steve.
Who is that?
No idea.
Douchebag Steve is one of our most loyal, amazing supporters. Craig, all the other people that
we love them.
listen, we love you. You're amazing. Yes, the Patreon, 5-star reviews or whatever you want. Instagram, Immigrant Jam Podcast. Thank you to Mark, a.k.a. Jiggy Ardian, for being the most amazing producer extraordinaire. Thank you to you guys for being here. Check out everything that Aleksey does. Check out Julia, check out underwear. Just don't wear underwear. Tell us what you think. Send us pictures of your
underwear made out of foil.
But make it brief.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.